The first game in this extra long episode is Dynasty Wars. Despite being based around the same period of Chinese history, this has nothing to do with Koei's later Dynasty Warriors series. What I didn't know while playing was that this is a licensed game. Rather than being Capcom's own take on the Three Kingdoms period, this is the first of Capcom's games based on the manga Tenchi Wokurao, which I had never heard of, and apart from being set during that time, I know nothing about. This game stars 4 generals of the Shu Kingdom as they take on the Yellow Turban Rebellion and later Dongchuo. With 8 levels and 4 characters, I'll cycle through them every 2 stages. So first we have Chang Fei. One thing you may notice is that Chang Fei's footage is faster than the others. That's because this version is being played through Capcom Arcade Stadium. I'm used to adding credits through the shoulder buttons like in the Arcade Archives re-releases, so I was unaware that the shoulder buttons increase gameplay speed. The others won't be like that. Every playable character rides on a horse, and Chang Fei wields a spear with lightning powers. I can attack normally or charge an attack. The first enemies I face are swordsmen and archers, both on foot and on horseback. You gain experience from the enemies you killed and can level up for more health. One of them drops a yellow orb that grants me more XP. After a while I start fighting uphill, a vase granting me a blue orb. Collecting 3 of these will power your weapon up. Past the gate, the archers are hiding behind fences, but I break through those too. At the top of the hill I fight more of the same enemies, stopping at the next gate to take out those piling through there too. Through the gate is my first boss, the pair of Chen Yen Che and Teng Mao. They both wield swords and are backed up by several normal soldiers. I stand back at first, throwing out charged up lightning blasts. Keeping a distance isn't fully safe as they can both use bows as well. I lose my first credit here, but thankfully continuing doesn't lose me anything important. Teng Mao goes down first, with the other joining him a little later. I get a very gory shot of my character cutting the general clean in half. My victim looks more outraged at getting his waist chopped off than anything else. Stage 2 is at sea, with me horse riding across multiple boats. A new enemy are these guys with swords jumping on from the sea. They're eternally squatting and fight by jumping at me with their swords out. As I clear out a wave of enemies, a new boat attaches for me to pass over as the old one breaks off. This boat catches fire, leaving me with less space to move without risk of damage. Around this point I also reach level 2, granting me more health. What would be your third blue orb is replaced by a picture of a new weapon you'll gain by grabbing it. Then another 3 blue orbs will level me up further. It also increases the strength of the lightning coming from my spear. After dealing with so much fire, I move on to my third row of boats. Apart from the volume of fences, nothing much happens here until I clear out the millions of enemy soldiers and get off on land. There's a very durable catapult here, but I can also hit the cannonballs first. Moving further into the forest and taking out a couple more catapults, the next boss shows up. These 2 don't name themselves. They're also exactly the same as the previous boss, but a bit stronger. No new attacks or anything. I back them towards this gate, and after enough damage, one will flee. The other will also back into the fortress, but slower, allowing me to keep beating him up. After hanging out behind him, stabbing both him and his horse in the arse, he flees too. I reach a wall and they reveal that this was a trap. They send out the next new enemy, Big Man. Several of them in fact. They come at me looking like the first Golden Axe boss swinging their spiked clubs at me. I lure them all into a group so I can hit them all with one swing and slowly whittle down their numbers. They kill me, but my respawning attack on using a new credit kills the rest of them. That's the end of the level, and this guy taunts me. Stage 3 and we're swapping over to my playthrough as Liu Bei. He wields a sword that he can stab so fast with that it hits multiple times. Through the gate and I start going up the mountain, with soldiers pushing boulders down towards me. They next try pouring jars of burning oil downhill at me. That one's more effective, but Liu Bei also gets his third weapon here. That goes on for quite a while before I reach the top and the next gate. I enter the enemy camp and fight through it to meet the boss. He says he's not like his brother. But who's your brother? Who are you? Give me some names! Someone's brother wields a big halberd and can breathe fire and call in little rocks thrown from off screen. He also gets backed up by 2 sword horsemen. And who are these? Are they someone's brother's brothers? Those 2 act like the last 2 bosses. As the fight goes on, someone's brother starts shooting fireballs out his halberd. He dies first and I take out his backup soon after. Liu Bei says the name of the boss I killed, but the 1989 digitized speech makes it hard to make out. It was Chang Jiao from the sounds of it, which makes sense as the Yellow Turbans are now defeated as of the next cutscene. The rest of the game is taking on Dongchuo, with stage 4 being at the Fanshui Gate. Enemies are stronger and wearing different colours now, but they aren't new. Through the gate and start going slightly uphill, they try flattening me with giant snowballs. After a few of those I end up on the Rikita Bridge. I get a mini-boss, this big guy with a spiked ball and chain. He has the range, but up close he'll also use a sword. He's quite durable and manages to kill me twice before he dies himself. He even drops Liu Bei's 4th weapon. Across the bridge and I start moving downhill. I clear out the next gate and enter the camp. The acrobatic squatters start surfing on horses at this point. I kill a load of those and the next boss appears, giving me his name, Wei Xiong. I don't know who that's supposed to be. He wields a spear but doesn't seem to have any special moves, just thrust and swing. Most of the damage I take is from his soldiers before he dies. This guy didn't even get cut, he died of dropping his sword. Stage 5, where Guan Yu's playthrough will take over. He also wields a spear and has rapid jabs like Liu Bei. His weapon powers up here, which he calls a famous sword. During this first wave, the big guys make their first appearance since level 2. Then Lia Cui shows up to avenge Wei Xiong. His gimmick is that he has a shield he can block with and he can also throw knives at you. I kill him and move on. How does a catapult combust from being hit by a spear? I fight to the gate of this fortress and the big guys return, but I swap their clubs for axes. I also finally get new foot soldiers with these ones wielding spears. Then the boss comes out, Ke Qi. I know Chinese names can be written into English in many different ways, but apart from the playable cast, Chang Zhao and Dong Chuo, I have no idea who the rest of these bosses are supposed to be. I think he's using a Kusarigama and he can also use a sword when up close. Those are his only moves and I kill him too. I enter the fortress and fight uphill a bit, avoiding boulders and getting up on the wall. Then the next boss shows up, Li Pu. Is this supposed to be Lu Bu? He's very fast and keeps jabbing me with his spear, which is very Lu Bu behaviour. He also has the spear swing as well, basically making him a reskin of a previous boss since he has no other moves. But they do power up when he gets low on health. The swing starts firing sonic booms and the thrust gains magic extended range. The guy also takes forever to die while mangling me, which is also typical Lu Bu. And after all that, he runs off, saying he'll fight me again. Stage 6 next in Luoyang. First a wave at the gate before I enter the city, seeing people fleeing in the background. I get a mini boss already, threatening to burn the place down around me. He's just a standard guy with a sword and bow and a horse. I also get another weapon power up while fighting him. As I deal damage to him, the screen advances. He even disappears for a bit as his soldiers try rolling boulders at me on flat ground. Then a wave of axe wielders and several archers before I reach the end and another guy shows up. I'm fairly certain the Feng Chok being referred to as is Dong Chuo. The guy throws several boomerangs and can charge forward with his sword out, but he's easy to pin in the corner and throw charged attacks at. I kill him and then I get nothing but the odd archer coming in. And that first boss's health bar is still there. It's a glitch. That guy wasn't supposed to disappear and now the game is soft locked. I have to start again. At least those speed up functions exist so I can get back as fast as possible. I kill the boss again and this time the level ends. And that's the level 1 boss. They gave this guy a reused corpse. Round 7 and onto the last playable character, Chao Yun. This one starts at the burning Luoyang in the background. Chao Yun is another spear wielder. He has good range, especially with his rapid jab. I've avoided giving my thoughts on the cast as playable characters, and that's because despite their differences, they all feel pretty much the same, so I couldn't choose a favourite or least favourite. I enter the village and get another weapon upgrade. Another wave of the usual enemies and I leave town to find the floor bursting into flames. They're also trying the oil trick again as I go uphill. And then they add in the boulders alongside them. At the top I cross a bridge and fight this guy calling himself Si Vong. He throws an endless supply of axes, but they move in an arc, and so if I'm close, they'll just fly right over me. Aside from hacking at me when I get too close, that's his only attack, and he goes down faster than most bosses. The level continues into this bamboo forest, and I have another boss already. His moveset is a bit more realistic, throwing out dragons made of fire, also shot puts. Those dragons hang around for a while and make it hard to get close to him. He's also got a sword if you do get close. After a few hits, he'll flee across a bridge. After some more damage, his archers set the forest on fire before he runs off again. I now have to avoid falling branches. After I make it out and take out some catapults, the boss returns. His moveset is unchanged and so it's just a long fight waiting for him to die. And now the final stage. The ball and chain boss is duplicated, so some time spent taking them out. Then as I go through the gate, the boulders return, followed by the return of the guy I think is Lu Bu. It's the same fight as last time, but now he also has a bow. Not much else to say about it. This time I kill him though. I then move through the rest of this street, getting another weapon upgrade, and start moving uphill with more boulders and oil to deal with. At the top is another street and more axe wielders. Past them is a bridge that slowly moves higher and higher. At the top is where I meet Dong Chuo. He's got a big spear and fires several arrows in a row. He can also throw multiple bombs at once. And something I somehow missed while playing, he's so big he needs to ride 2 horses at once. But his health drains faster than I was expecting. That's because when I kill him, he reveals himself to be Dong Chuo's decoy. The real one is trying to escape, so I catch up to him and give him a few hits so that he runs. I kill the remaining enemies to advance the screen and beat him some more to make him run again. After the 3rd time he tries riding off in a carriage. He starts out throwing sonic booms while I stand there behind him stabbing. After enough damage he speeds off again and I catch up at his castle for one last fight. His spear is on fire now, and when he swings it, the flames have huge reach. But he can also throw a little puny one as well if he wants to for whatever reason. He seems to deliberately walk into a load of my attacks here, which I'm fine with because those were his only moves and this fight goes on forever. Nothing left but to finish it. I quarter Dong Chuo, his castle collapses, and after the credits I get a teaser for this guy, whoever he is, as the game promises a sequel. Dynasty Wars is alright. It's better than the bad beat-em-ups I've played, but I've also played far better. There isn't much gameplay diversity between the 4 characters, and each playthrough had my thumb killing me by the end with how long some of those bosses and enemy waves would be. The enemy and boss pool isn't really that big either. I feel making everyone ride a horse really limited what they could do, and I see that the sequel ditched that idea and went more traditional. If I get to it, I'm expecting that one choice to make an improvement. Plus, that digitised yelling really got on my nerves. If you've played the game, you know what I mean.